Good day, sir. This is the continuation of my report. Lecture 3, the fossil fuel steam generation 1. Today, I will discuss about in fossil 1, fossil fuel steam generation. Fossil fuel is the fuel which made in the billions of years. When the vegetation is buried under the ground and in millions of years, maybe 100 or 200 millions years, this is vegetation is converted into mineral oil or the coal or the natural gases. And this source of energy is non-renewable source of energy. First of all, I will do the classification of steam generation. And then I will discuss the working view of classification steam boiler, namely Lancashire boiler, Cornish boiler, Mokran boiler, and Babcock's and Wellcock's boiler. Boiler is an enclosed pressure vessel where heat generated through the combustion of fuel is used for converting water into steam. Boiler, there is a tendency to have higher pressure in the boilers. So, the more work can be extracted from the heat of this steam. Classification. The fire tube boiler. In a boiler, necessarily, there's a shell, and this shell is, if you fill this shell with water at a certain level, and through this shell, there's a number of maybe a single tube or maybe a number of tubes. If they are passing through this shell and this tube, the flow gases are flowing. Flow gases are the gases which are generated from burning the fuel, and they are at very high temperature. Fire tube boiler normally they have capacity less than 200 tons per hour. Pressure, there are normally low pressure boiler. So boilers can be classified based on the pressure also. So the boilers which are having pressure less than 20 bar are known as low pressure boilers. Right, in a high pressure boiler, then the questions arise, what are high pressure boilers? So high pressure boilers are these boilers where pressure is greater than 80 bar. So those boilers are highly pressure boilers. And between 20 and 80, they are intermediate pressure boilers. Water tube boiler. Water tube boiler capacity, it can go up to 120 tons per hour steam. This is steam generation capacity 120 tons per hour. That is the steam generation capacity of the boiler. This is the range 4.5 to 120. Pressures, it can go up to 100 bar. Right, controls, more controls are required because the water is flowing inside the tube. Suppose there is obstruction in the flow of water, then accident may take place, right? So if there is a fluctuations in demand, also in that case we go for normally for this fire tube boiler. But in this type of boiler, more controls are required. More safety is required in water tube boiler. And stringent water quality has to maintain because the water is flowing inside the tube. Position of furnace. This is another way of classification, classifying the boilers, whereas boilers is the internally fired at. It means the furnace is housed inside the boiler, or it is outside the boiler. So there can be a number of classification, but the main classification is fire tube boiler and water tube boiler. High pressure boiler and low pressure boiler. Now, depending upon the classification, depending upon the application, same boilers are mobile boilers, like locomotive boilers, some more stationary boilers. Circulation of water, how water is circulated in the boiler, it is a natural circulation. Or the force circulating for the purpose of force circulating pumps will be required for natural circulating. No external energy will be required. So this can be another classification of the boilers. Lancashire boiler. This is a photograph of a used Lancashire boiler. Here you can see the grid where the fuel is burnt. Now the flowing gases are along the axis of this tube. Now emerging from here, because this vessel is placed in the bricks masonry. The Cornish boiler. I will discuss the Cornish boiler. So Cornish boiler is smaller in size. So here the length is varying between 4 to 7 meters diameter. Of the drum is 1.25 to 1.75. So it is smaller in size and it has only one tube. That is the difference between Lancashire boiler and Cornish boiler. A steam generation rate is 1.3 tons per hour, much less than the steam generation rate of Lancashire boiler. And pressure is 12 bars. So it is smaller in size right in this boiler. New regarding the movement of flow gases, in this boiler also the flow gases support. There is a tube inside. Flow gases, they move in this direction first of all. Cornish boiler. Cornish boiler photographs view. This is the single tube where being shown here, right? It is smaller in size. A steam generation rate is less pressure of also approximately 12 bar. Lancashire boiler has pressure approximately 17.5 bar. But both the boilers are fire tube boilers and both the boilers are low pressure boilers. Cochran boiler. Cochran boiler is this boiler is the vertical boiler. This boiler is different from the previous two. It is the vertical boiler and like axis is vertical. Boiler axis is vertical. It has firebox where the burning of fuel takes place. This is the firebox and below the firebox there is a gate. Cochran boiler, the efficiency of the boiler is approximately 70%. This is not very high efficient boiler. Babcock and Wilcox boiler. This is the largest boiler. The capacity of these boilers is 20 to 40 tons per hour. And pressure also can be vary between 11.5 to 17.5 bar, and this is a water tube boiler. It is not a fire tube boiler. There is a bank of tube in this boiler and the tubes are inclined at a certain angle. There is a bank of tube right. This is the schematic. This is the schematic of the boiler. You can see these tubes are inclined. These are inclined at a degree 10 to 15 degree. It is a very big boiler and baffle plates. The main attraction of this boiler is it can maintain pressure between 11.5 to 17.5 bar. And it can supply superheated steam, and the steam generation rate is quality high 20 to 40 tons per hour. That's all. Thank you.